It's up there. I don't think you can see it from here. I just started it. I just got in here, and this is what it looks like. It's an old car. It's very, very different. This is a different world than what I was riding in yesterday in my truck. But I've got the engine. I started it. He put the brake on. That's that light there. This is the guy who delivered it right here. I'm just taking delivery right now, and I'm really waiting for him to kind of leave. I'm wondering if he's waiting for me. I don't want to pull around him, so I'm kind of sitting here. Really nice guy, really young, and he had 3 cars on that truck that he brought here to Charlotte. And the car's running, and it's definitely sounds like an old car, but it's a wonderful sound. And it vibrates a little bit. These cars do that. The mirror, I tried to adjust it. It didn't really adjust very well, so you kind of can't really see behind. I mean, I can see like the rear fender out of the... That's what I can see, basically. That's what my sight tells me. I just see that. This is the dash. There's no radio. And I don't think there's any true, like, air. I don't think there's anything. And it does have another mirror. My 85 wagon did not. But the 85 wagon was a little softer inside. This is more plasticky. And there's those very familiar door handles, the seats, and me. I know I look like I've had better days, but that's just because I don't think I slept very well last night while waiting for this car to come. I was very worried because I released the funds expecting it to be here yesterday, but the weather and everything else going on caused it to be delayed a little bit. So yeah, I haven't shaved or anything, but I was so excited, and when I saw the car in the trailer, I honestly thought I was gonna have a heart attack. So I'm very excited it's here, and I'm gonna just take a spin down the block there as soon as he pulls out, or if he's waiting for me. I don't know. I really am actually afraid to pull out. Yep, there's the exhaust down there. You can hear it. It's missing the AMC badge on the back, and actually several of the AMC badges are missing. It's got a trailer hitch. My truck doesn't even have a trailer hitch. So, this is a 1981 AMC Eagle 2-door sedan. And it has Missouri plates. It actually was from Missouri. That's where I bought it. And I got this whole car, this lovely car, for $7,236 sterling. I bought it online through eBay, as a matter of fact, and it was a very stressful and difficult thing to do. Everybody involved in the transaction was absolutely wonderful to work with and very professional, and I have no complaints whatsoever. So for all of the stories you've possibly heard out there of buying classic cars online being a complete nightmare, I have not had that experience at all whatsoever. It has been a wonderful experience. Everything worked out perfectly. So here's the car, and we're going to take a look inside and see what it's like. So if you've ever had an AMC car before, you know all about these silver sideways door handles that are a bit interesting to get used to. And you have to be gentle with this because it is 40 years old. But you just pull on the latch like this and it clicks open. Pretty darn good for being 40 years old. The seats look like they've been reupholstered, and it does look like vinyl. I don't think this is original. It's too nice to be original. The miles that it says on here, it says 22580, and I mean, that's in freedom units. So old cars prior to about 1985 only had 5 digits on the odometer. So this is probably something like 122,000 miles and 122,000 freedom units. Whatever that is in kilometers, I don't know. I think that's very funny because when I bought my wagon many years ago, I think that it had roughly the same figure. It was about the same number, 120-some thousand miles, which I think I put maybe 30,000 more on it before I had to let it go. Hopefully with this car, I can go much further. The one interesting thing that I noticed when I got in the car this morning, when I picked it up, is that right here is where I would expect the four-wheel drive transfer to be. I think I described it in my first video on the Cheap Car Challenge, that the Eagle Wagon I had, it has a switch, which is like a lever, that's right here on the dashboard that you flick from two-wheel to four-wheel, and it would hiss and whatever, you know, as the vacuum pumps put the car into four-wheel drive. That's not on this car, and so that means this is a really early Eagle that is full-time, all four-wheel drive. There is no two-wheel mode on this car. So that means that when you start it up and put it in drive, you're in four-wheel drive all the time. You can't turn it off, which is kind of cool, actually. It does mean that you're not going to get very good gas mileage. I don't know if I should care about gas mileage on a 40-year-old car, but if you do, that's just a thing to think about. The wipers are right here on this thing. I think it's 2-speed, slow and fast. It might just be on and off. I don't even know if it has those speeds. The lights are here. You pull them out. You push that plunger back in. It's very simple 1970s style technology. It's not big in here. You'll notice, I mean, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I mean, I have to kind of duck to get in, which I'm not used to being. Typically, I drive around in a pickup truck, and I don't have to kind of crouch down to get inside. So this is not a big car. Eagle looks kind of big. It's got the big tires and everything, but actually this is a very small car, and it's a very interesting car, which is the reason that I bought it. Steering wheel comes out at an angle, and you cannot adjust it. It stays in this position, which is, it's a huge steering wheel. And there's no airbag or anything like that. This is 1981 after all. You can tell looking on the door sills where and how it's been repainted. This looks kind of fresh, which is good. It's nice. And some of the old paint that probably was very faded. And here's the interior. The dashboard is, as I said before, is very AMC weirdness. The feature of it that I don't really like is this kind of parcel shelf down here with these fresh air eyeballs that they were really proud of when they came out with these in 1980. But the problem is that it leaves you this parcel shelf that sits down here and conveniently placed at knee level. The dash display, which is very, I don't know what this is. And it's very unique in having this quartz clock that AMC was like bragged about putting in the cars. It even says quartz on it. When I had the old wagon, boy, people would make fun of that. Some owners of these actually take that out and will put like a tack in there. I don't think I'm gonna bother. I mean, there's no radio, stereo, it's empty, and I don't even know if this works. The heat was on this morning and it did get a little warm, so I think it's got something. And the I don't even know if these buttons are what they do. I can't really read that, but that's the two main vents, and then that's the fresh air vents down there. And can't really read that, but this is faded completely. This is the glove box, which just has some kind of nuts and bolts sitting in there, and the original, looks like the original owner's manual, which is just has some generic car on the front and 1981 Eagle maintenance schedule. Yeah, and this looks really bare bones. You can tell this is a company that was not, like, they didn't have a lot of money, and on the inside of the glove box, it actually says AMC Concorde. This car was never a Concorde. It's built as an Eagle, so, but it's the same exact body as the Concorde sedan and wagon. So they just combined everything when they put the manuals together to save money. That's a small car company for you. And the door there. And this is the back seat. So, which is, it's not especially roomy, but I don't know if I'm going to have passengers in the rear of the car anyway. So, and the smell in here is very vinyl-y and kind of like it's an old car. All right, can I figure out how to get this thing open? Lever's in there. Will it open? Yes! Okay. I think this is counterbalanced. Yeah, it is. You don't have to do anything. It stays right there. So there it is. There is your standard 258 engine, 4.2 liter straight six with, when it was new, 114 horsepower. What is that today after 4 decades of age and wear and tear? I honestly don't know. I was told that the engine is not original to the car, but I actually can't tell. I mean, it looks like it's been in here for ages. The engine bay doesn't appear to be, I mean, it doesn't really look like this engine's ever been taken out, but I don't know. Maybe he rebuilt it. Well, there is a little bit of oil over there. Is this the plastic valve cover? Please don't be. Yes, it is. So this might actually be a later year engine. I'm not sure though. And that's just the top. These always look the same. He must have lost the original thing, but the air cleaner's in there and the carburetor. Let's see if we can have a look at that. So that's your choke there, which is a double barrel choke. And that means that these cars basically, like, you don't prime this to start it. You just, like, you barely touch the pedal. You really, the way you do it, at least how I did with my wagon, was you actually turn the key on it and start the car, then you give it fuel. Then you pump the gas after the car fires. Otherwise, it'll just stall out. If you prime that, if you over prime it, it floods like immediately. So that's just one thing you have to know with AMCs. They're just AMC weirdness. And it looks like a brand new battery and huge radiator. And going around, so there's all the information. The cafe era, the era of the cafe regulations in the late 70s and early 80s, that really is the reason that this engine has only 114 horsepower new. It's just because in order to make this old straight six as economical as possible, I guess, and to have as low emissions as possible, they strangled it. They made the, just low flow. But so yeah, it still has the plate on it. It has all the original wheel covers, which I like very much. And 2 doors only with a very interesting Landau top on it. And there's no, it's missing, like there's a badge, the Eagle badge is on here, but the AMC badge appears to be missing. And looks like they took it off to paint and maybe it just broke or something and they couldn't find a new one. But they all look like that from the rear. The sedans do anyway. So, and I honestly think that the paint job on this is really nice. I think he did a very good job on it. It says 4-wheel drive, and I think they all have this badge on the back, the 4-wheel drive badge, the Eagle badge. The AMC badges are missing, so I'll have to find those. Yeah, so there it is. That's my classic car. That's my purchase. I'm very happy with it, very excited. I can't wait to take this car on some trips. I'm gonna have to get used to driving it first. It's going to be interesting, but I'm delighted that I finally have one. I have another Eagle. I'm really excited. And let me know what you think of it in the comments. It's an interesting and different car. I'm proud to have it. These are getting rarer and rarer, and hopefully I'll be a good owner to this car and it can have many more years ahead of it. Definitely sounds like the timing is possibly a little off. Shouldn't run like that. Oil. And a few little splatters. That's me from earlier. I topped it off. I did that. It was a mistake.